And now it's time for the Hebrew of the week. And we're still in the book of Ruth, chapter 2, verse 13. Boaz has been talking to Ruth and, thanking her for what done for Naomi. And now Ruth is responding to Boaz in verse 13. See if you can pronounce this Hebrew. Here's how I would pronounce it. Vatomer emza chen ba a neka Adoni, ki. Okay, what do you recognize? Adonai, it's Adoni, but it's Lord. Ki is a preposition for. You probably don't know the vocabulary word chen, but it's grace or favor. Vatomer, vav patak doubling, it's a converted imperfect, or a vayiktol, it's a preterite, it's a simple past tense. And she said, Amar, to say, it's a call or a G, converted imperfect. Third feminine singular, she said, from Amar. Again, you see Vayomer all over the place, and he said. And in Ruth, you see, and she said, all over the place, Vatomer. And she said, Tav is the third feminine singular performative for the imperfect. And she said, so this Aleph here is the first common singular. It's where the I comes from. Aleph, I. I'm number one, right? So I'm the first letter of the alphabet. Aleph. It is an imperfect in form. It's interesting because, like the RSV translates it, I have found favor with you, something like that, as a past tense. Why is it imperfect? Well, remember, the imperfect has a sense of incompleteness. So even though she's talking about something that's already now in progress, favor from Boaz, but she's not talking about it as something that's completed. You gave me favor, and now it's over. No, but it's ongoing, and we're going to get more. Of course, more favor from Boaz. I am finding, so I tried to translate it, I am finding favor in your eyes, my lord. My lord, pick me. But anyway, so I am finding, so matzah is to find. This is a imperfect. It is, I think it's call. Yes, it is. It's call. Nothing done to it. So, and she said, I am finding grace. I am finding favor. Grace is favor. Favor works better in English, I think, for this one. She said, I am finding favor in your eyes, my lord. Ba is in. Ka is the second masculine singular your. In your, and then ayin is eyes. And then the yod here tells you it's plural, or actually probably dual in a sense, because you have two of them. My lord, Adonai is Lord, but the hirik yod is my lord. It's the pronominal suffix first common singular, my. So, and she said, I am finding favor in your eyes, my lord, for ki. And now the next line of the Hebrew is, can you pronounce that? Here's my pronunciation. Nikamtani vaki the barta or debarta al lave shifka teka. Okay, so what do we got going on here? Well, I recognize the vav is and again, and ki is for again. Davar is to speak when it's a verb. Davar as a noun is word, of course. Ta, again, is the second, well, it's not again in this verse, but it's the second masculine singular perfect ending. So this is a perfect. You notice the doubled second radical. This word is regularly PL or D stem, the doubling stem. So I don't know, you don't want to overthink it. It just basically means to speak. You spoke. Let's get some translation up here. For you have comforted me, and you spoke from the heart, al lave, upon the heart. I'm speaking upon the heart here, to your maidservant. No to there, but we need it for English. All right, you see the ka, again, is a second masculine singular pronominal suffix, your maidservant. And then this is the second masculine singular sufformative on a verb, you spoke, of a perfect. Okay, well, let's go back to this first word here. Nikam tani. So nakam is to comfort. Those three letters on the front are the the verb core, the three radicals, the radical verb. The ta, it's hiding in there, but there's the second masculine singular you Boaz, you comforted, and then ni, we are the endings that say ni, is me. It's an object suffix here. You comforted me. The nun doesn't do anything but kind of, it's like cartilage so that they don't all rub against each other too much. Well, actually, the nun is probably there because the ta, you needed the kamats to know that it was you, masculine singular. And so the ni kind of takes you a little bit further so that you can have the suffix me is clear. So anyway, you comforted me. I'm finding favor in your eyes, for you have comforted me. So the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Nakam is comfort, ta is you, and then ni is me. Okay, for you comforted me, and because you spoke from the heart to your maidservant. Again, this is PL, which normally means something like to put into a certain state. So you put your words out there. I suppose that's why davar is in the PL normally, because you're putting words out as you speak. Again, we don't need to know that. They didn't think about it. It was a convention. You just know that davar is in the D stem or the PL stem. Okay, so everything good? Let's move on to the rest of the verse. See if you can pronounce this. V'anoki, and I, or I think we're going to go with a different thing from and, but lo ehye, ka akat, shif ko teka. Okay, what do you recognize? Well, Anaki is I, not Anakin Skywalker, but Anoki I. Va is and normally, although we're going to downshift here in a second. Lo is not. Ehye. Remember when God says, I am who I am? Ehye asher ehye. I am who I am. So this is the first common singular I, again, first letter of the alphabet. I'm first. And then haya is to be. So I, again, it's an imperfect. So you might say, I will be, but again, it's more of a imperfect as in incomplete here rather than past tense. I'm not, even though I'm not currently, I'm not serving as, you don't have an ongoing servant relationship with me. So there's a little sense of incompleteness in the imperfect here rather than a past tense. Even though I was not, that's not a really normal translation for the imperfect. This verse is a strong reminder that the imperfect doesn't necessarily mean future tense. It means incomplete. Here, we're talking about something that started in the past and is continuing in the present, incomplete. So I used although, you could say but, when the and is on a non-verb, so like ehye is the verb here, the normal sentence structure in Hebrew would be ve'etje, 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 ehye. But the fact that it's on the pronoun, but I think although works better here. You've shown favor to me, even though I am not one of your maidservants. You've shown favor on me. You're a good guy, Boaz. Lo is not ehye's imperfect call or G stem of haya. The ka is the preposition like or as, but probably, even though I'm not, is a better English translation. Akat is one. And then this one, bigger they are, the harder they fall. If I start at the back and move forward, you've got ka, which is your. That's where the your comes from. Second masculine singular possessive suffix here, your. The yod tells me it's plural, so made servants. And then the base word is shifka, kamatz hey, when it's in its natural default form, which kamatz hey is a feminine maidservant. But often when you add ending stuff, the hey becomes a tav because the hey is kind of like, it's a vowel letter and it's full of air, psst, so a lot of times when you're going to put endings on it, you need something a little more solid. And so it becomes a tav. It just happens. Okay, so there you have it. If we go back, we've got, and she said, I've found favor in your eyes, my Lord. You've comforted me. You've spoken from your heart to your maidservant, even though I'm not one of your maidservants. And that is Ruth 2:13. quick commercial. If you're still watching, Biblical Hebrew for the Novice. It's a thing. This is a really good book that you can get it for paperback on Amazon. Here it is for the ebook. If you order the ebook, you get it instantly in a separate email, and you can start the joys of learning the Hebrew using the tools. If you want to do my Udemy course, it has PDFs of this in it, and it's not $44.99 if you use this coupon code. It's only $9.99 if you use the coupon code. So shameless promotion of things that you can get from me. This has been the Hebrew of the Week.